Yo, I'm really glad we've only had like 46 frame drops today. Like over this whole course of time casting. Normally we run into so many issues, but I know that I'm asking for trouble saying that, so I knocked on the wood before and knock on it after. But here we go. This is the losers match of Group B. I can't believe it, but yes, that's right. We got some of our favorite players here in the losers match. Spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing for Fnatic. It's none other than the pink Protoss Harstem.
In the upper right, ours, the red Zerg. It is Millennium's Vortix.
Okay, so it's really sad for me at this point that only one of these two can get through. Of course, I talked to you earlier about how Harstem was all cocky, saying, you know, poor Vortix, he loses to me in WCS, now he's going to lose to me in this tournament. But, I don't know, it's a very real potential Harstem loses this. I love Harstem's playstyling, so I think his PvZ is probably not his best, but it's not his worst either. So this is a match where I do think these guys, like, this is something I would rather have like a show match of than like a best of 3 in the group for the losers match.
Everyone's freaking out about my cat's tail.
Oh, how you cut it off because he was misbehaving when he was little? Just
well,
like ripped it right off.
I got real dark real soon.
Yeah, she told me the secret at Toronto. I'm sorry, I forgot I wasn't supposed to say it on stream.
No, actually, there's actually a lot of cats that like they have to get their tail removed because like they get it run over or like there's an infection or something. But no, that guy was actually just born with it. He's born that way.
Oh, you know what? I gotta do this before I forget. Yo, guys, when we were in Toronto, because I keep bringing up Toronto all day. We get it, Rivkin, you're in Toronto. Jesus Christ. We actually went by the coolest video game store that I told I'd shout out on stream sometime. So what better time to do it now than like, I guess if you live in Toronto, we found the sickest store called Vintage Gaming. They have really old games. They had like Beast Machines, Transformer toys. Like, it was amazing. A huge nostalgia trip. From, what is this? On 250 Wellington Street, West Unit 129 in Toronto. So again, that's vintagegaming.ca if you want to check it out. There you go. The guy gave us a really cool talk and let us look around his store for some of the really cool stuff.
Good job, Ripkin. We're proud of that.
Yo, what was the there was like that one thing, the unwrapped, like the unopened Metroid SNES game or whatever?
Oh, was it Green Tea or Jagtress that got it?
No. It was like that one girl, the bigger girl was friends with Caitlyn. I don't remember her name. The Dota chick. She was like, "Oh, I want to totally buy that, but it's like 250 bucks."
It was?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, why are you surprised? It's an unopened vintage game.
No, because I thought that like we were there with the person, and they were like, "Oh, I'm so tempted to buy that," and I thought it was someone who's been hanging out with us for a while.
I think you're confusing her for somebody else. I just remember because we like fought over food. And, yo,
okay, I feel like
food is serious business.
I'm like completely okay. Whatever. Anyways,
I don't want to describe her in a really mean way, so I'm just gonna type.
First blood.
Okay, I don't know, but the description on Skype, I don't know the Josh remember. It doesn't really matter. The point is, go check out that video game store if you're in Toronto. Anyways, a couple links inside the base to pick off one of the probes in the middle of the map. Vortix, I gotta say, because we haven't been talking a lot about the game, does have that third base on the way. Natural base also completing here, so I took that pretty quickly. But sadly, not letting you get done with these lings. Did he actually scout the Stargate, though? Yeah, it looks like he did dive in far enough to see it, so knows full well Harstem is opening with the Stargates.
oh, good guy Todd retweets. Thank you. Yeah, so you see the Stargate. It's actually pretty easy on Overgrowth to hide if you really want to hide tech, because you just put it down further to the south, the left of your natural gas. It's kind of hard for them to get in that close, but obviously doesn't really care. Probably just gonna go to macro off of it.
Oh yeah, big shout out to Todd. I just retweeted his tweet. Nice guy, Todd.
Yeah.
Who is playing tomorrow, by the way, guys, so get hyped. And it's really cool because he's offered to come cast, like, if he gets knocked out of the tournament or whatever, too.
Oh, that's nice.
It was funny. My first interactions with Todd was like him getting pissed off at me because he thought I was like spreading bad rumors or something. Because I was like, yo, he forfeited to go for StarCraft. But I think the next time I saw him, he banned me from Chanman's chat. So I really didn't have a good vision of Todd, but I've like really fallen in love with Todd over the years. So like, no homo and everything. Todd's a pretty cool dude.
I don't know about the no homo thing.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Be honest.
Not quite like to the point where you're like, you just like, no, you know what, Violet? I'm not even gonna hide it. Like that guy.
Did you?
Like,
I don't even want to say because like he might be watching, but like he should have heard. Never mind. But
What?
Toronto, I was talking with the girl.
Okay,
You're both crushing on Todd.
I was gonna say someone's got a crush on Todd. Not a surprise. Dude, well,
We both did.
let's go ahead and stop right now.
Yeah,
Is this why
yeah,
you promised him a T-shirt? Because you wanted to like see him take off his current shirt to put on the new T-shirt? Is that what that was about? Is that why I have to send Todd a T-shirt now? Because you couldn't control your lust? Get it together, Zombie Grove.
I'm sorry, I just can't control myself. Oh my god, like the master plan is revealed.
Pretty good link control here out of Vortix, by the way. It doesn't lose too much for this. He might actually get a cancel on the Nexus.
Yeah.
Actually, no, here comes the Oracle. This might just be
Oracle.
enough. Yeah, the mothership
It's gonna be very low.
He might still get it. I think he's gonna get it. Oh, the stupid Oracle does so much damage. Maybe not.
He brought it down to really low health, you know? That's gonna be,
like, you
what,
almost-
like 75%?
Yeah, maybe. What, like
Maybe like
50%?
half health.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
half
almost.
health.
I would almost say cancel this just to rebuild it for the sake of the health. I mean, shields are cool and all, but I mean, really, this is gonna go down.
Shields are good, but... Well, I mean, the whole idea is that...
The mules are cool, but not that cool.
Yeah, I don't know. You really want that third, right? He's playing a very greedy game. So, I don't know. The chances that the Lings are going to get a full surround of this again are kind of low. Like, as you can see, the Sin City's already working against it. In fact, Harstem is actually kind of paranoid about this. He doesn't see... Or no, wait, he does see the Lings with his Oracle, knows that Vortix might try and dive on it, goes and pops the Overcharge. But, he just popped the Overcharge. 5 gateways are about to finish. He can warp in a lot of Zealots to help and make sure that it is not sniped. Meanwhile, Vortix takes the gold. I mean, you take a third, I can take a fourth.
Yeah, I mean, we see Zerg players do this all the time. I think gold benefits a Zerg player way more than like a Protoss player or something, but still, it's an open base is exposed, so something that could go down later on. These Lings trying so desperately to get some damage done. The whole position was nice, but as we see, didn't really get a lot of kills for it.
Okay, where's the blink, Harstem? We all know that's what you're gonna get. Come on. No? He doesn't have a robo, does he?
I mean, that's kind of what I was expecting, right? It's your common go-to. You get massive Blink Stalkers on level 3 weapon upgrades. It's the most common thing right now in this matchup. But, starts the robo, okay. Yeah.
Alright then. That is the most common thing, though. I mean, taking the +2, 3 base all wins. Okay, so he does start blink. It was barely seen by that Overseer. Although, like, big surprise, am I right?
Yeah.
Ah! StarCraft 2 was about to break right there. Okay. So
Well, I like that he's opening the rocks here. Taking the gold is bad enough as it is, especially if you don't have a way to get to it to reinforce it. You gotta get that creep spread too. Something Vortex actually has none of whatsoever. So a little bit not happy on that. Hopefully he gets that sorted quickly because there's a big attack coming. And it's gonna take a while to get these queens here, much less the Hydras and the Lings without speed. The Hydras without the speed benefit, they're gonna have the group spies, great, whatever. But if there's no creep to work with, oh boy, it's gonna be rough.
We'll see. Harstem, again, he doesn't have to commit. He can go ahead and Revelation right here if he wants to. Maybe just, yeah, there he goes. And, maybe he shouldn't commit, because Force Fields are good, but the Blink isn't done, the Upgrade isn't done. Just be a little careful here, and I guess, make Vortex feel a little uneasy as well. He did scout, by the way, like the Hydra is moving, he sees how the Hydralisk now, he knows that an attack is coming and he has to prepare for it. Unfortunately, won't have any splash damage to help him. He's going to rely on gateway units and Force Fields.
I like that revelation too. It's such a small deal, but he even still could see where the army is of Vortix.
Oh, it's so important because Overgrowth is the map where you split up your forces.
Yeah.
One side's to the left, one side's to the right. You want to be able to attack that, especially on a no easy like Colossus to lay down to the third and set it and forget it type deal. He's got to pay attention to his army.
I'm still having trouble wrapping my brain around the fact that this is the losers match. But good force fields out of Harstem. Great army control. He's not gonna have to worry about this too much. If anything, maybe a force field or maybe a sentry dies, but there's that blink.
Has a few more too. Blink is done. Immortal pops out just in the nick of time and in perfect positioning. Like that Robo kind of looks almost like in a bad position, but that helps out right there.
Yeah, spawning right on the front lines instead of having to waddle forwards, get cut off by the reinforcements.
Now miss. Look, see if they focus fires it, that is the only Robo. The Colossus won't come out.
Oh, the Immortal does. No, goes down. Kind of sucks, but there's no more roaches. Oh, okay, there's some reinforcing roaches, but really, it's just Hydras at this point. Sadly, most of the sentries have died. There's no more 6 force fields to throw down, but you know what? He got this gold base, but he's not saturated. Like, transfer some drones over here. Get that economy pumping.
Yeah, he's on 73 drones, which isn't really that bad, but for sure, I'd say, like, you know, taking a few from the natural and the main, it's a gold. You don't think you have the gold, go ahead and take it. It does go up to the hive. It's about to get +2 upgrades, although Harstem's already on its level 3. One Colossus is really going to help out, again, with those force fields, because he still has, like, 4, I think.
I kind of feel like he's starting to time out a bit for Harstem. That hive on the way, eventually Vipers are going to be on. This army becomes really scary. Like, it's already pretty scary, but it becomes really freaking scary once Vipers get involved.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going to get +3!
Oh, that's huge. Oh, this is going to really suck for Harstem.
Like free. Oh, man. And, like, anytime that Harstem had to go into a concave, this is what sucks about Overgrowth. Going into this concave, trying to defend your natural, it's very difficult. Second Colossus might make it possible, but losing that +3, like,
That really plays against Harstem, because not only was it almost complete, which is really hard to deal with in the first place, it's what makes the Stalkers viable versus the Hydras. Level 2 weapon upgrades, I don't know what it is, the math, however it works, but like +3 is such a big deal. +2 just never seems to cut it. It's always just barely not enough to like one-shot the Corruptor or one-shot the Hydra when you blink on top of it, things like this, so it sucks losing that pretty hardcore. Harstem also has not remade the Forge, so...
Yeah, no Forge and no Templar Archives, which is a big deal because Vortix is already on his way to Vipers. And technically you can survive, maybe you get lucky and take down the Vipers with your Blink Stalkers, but it's just, more often than not, we see them get like 3 free Colossus pulls, and then like GG. It's just a little anticlimactic. And Harstem, he is preparing, but it's not quite ready. It's going to be very close. Vortix Vipers popping out, they're starting to charge on energy. It's a bad time. Oh, he actually is getting a War Prism, so he's going to buy time just a little bit later. Actually getting a 4th too. Feeling pretty confident about pushing that army back for now.
Well, good defensive fights out of Harstem, now taking his own gold. It's not worth noting, we look at the resources lost, Vortex not exactly doing well in this regard. But again, all this kind of comes down to the fact that he was fighting on that layer tech. It's kind of how it's meant to go. But now he's got Hive tech, now he's got Vipers. They got a lot of energy, there's no High Templar here for feedbacks. Well, actually there are now, okay, good, it warps him in.
Okay, yeah, that was like perfectly timed, by the way. Like,
yeah, I know, I'm like...
Ooh, that was close, that was close. But it's absolutely essential that this happens. He can actually feedback... There goes feedback. There.
Good feedback on the first one, but another one does get the abduct off. Does feedback the remaining 2, but doesn't kill them sadly.
Oh, it's
Blind Clouds also went down. Yeah.
Yeah. This 4th can just be targeted now. He probably should because it's kind of free.
Yeah, it's gone. Goodbye. Whoop.
War Prism did come out. It's going towards the main. Maybe Harstem thinking or hoping that this actually pulls Vortix back.
I would actually hope it doesn't pull him back and you just do relentless amounts of damage with the Zealots, right?
Yeah, we know who you're cheering for.
Well, what I'm cheering for is like in Group A, whatever.
Oh. Whatever. Anyways, he doesn't pull back entirely. The War Prism gets it alive, so it's going to be able to come back again and deal damage. Harstem figures, I guess, the gold was not actually going to be that viable. Takes the one in the bottom right. Goes to the Overlords. Not in my face. The clap was.
Oh, I thought you were slapping yourself for a second.
I know, right? Slap. Well, mutas are actually on the way. This is such a low number of mutas that I feel like it's like a mistake.
You know, but here's the thing. Like, we were talking about Todd a moment ago, jokingly, of course, but there's something Todd does in PvZ better than any other player, in my opinion, and that's the use of War Prisms to bring him back in the game. Like, right now we see Harstem trying to use the War Prism, and that's great, that's good. He'll probably get this killed here in a second, but, you know, between DTs, Zealots, run-bys, like, if there's one guy I would reference, it wouldn't even be a Korean. It would be freaking Todd when it comes to using War Prisms to get back versus Zerg.
Oh, and I had the lower fair, Todd? Please. Good
Tell me I'm
counterattack.
wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, though.
Whatever,
seriously.
whatever, man, whatever. So he spent a lot of time killing the War Prism, but that just means that Harstem sends in a couple of Zealots, kills that 5th.
That's what I like to see.
His own 4th is about to be finished, too. Storm also being researched here. Another War Prism. Harstem is in it. This is going to go for a lot longer. Vortix, like, those 3 mutas had to be a mistake, right? Like... Unless he just, maybe he meant them purely to be for, like, the War Prism defense? Because he's sitting on patrol now.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, if they're fast enough to chase the War Prism down, they will kill it. But what I really like, okay, DT's on the way, great, fantastic, Dark Shrine coming out, but I like this Storm so much. Plus, he's finally getting that +3 weapon upgrade back. That's the one reason he hasn't been able to tangle with Vortix properly. His upgrades just aren't there for the army composition he currently has. Vortix has this really awesome bank going for him. He's on that gold base comfortably, etc., etc. But as soon as these DTs come into effect, as soon as Storms start coming in on top of this too, I mean, this is Gonna be better and better. Vortix is actually maxed out pretty much, so he can't actually make anything at home to defend the Zealots. He has to come back with the army to kill these.
This is when he started making drones to build spine crawlers, and I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't. Oh, big storm on all the Hydras.
Yeah, he's gonna need a couple more good ones though, and let's not forget he's got to save energy for feedbacks on the Vipers too. Because of course for them it's no longer about the abducts. There's not a lot of Colossus here. Maybe he kills the Colossus, sure, but it's all about the blinding clouds following suit.
Yeah, it looks like the Zealots are gonna take down that third. By the way, they're uncontested.
Wow. There's only level 2 weapon upgrades too. Level 3 Zealots hit so freaking stupid hard.
There it goes. It goes down, and he also brought a lot of the army back. Some of the army dives in on the third. Nexus does snipe it.
But it's one base for the cost of a lot of Yeah, he's gonna lose all the Hydras for this.
Well, you know, it's a 6K bank. So.
Oh, but he's remaxing on Mutas. Oh,
yeah, because I was really wondering, like, just the 3 Mutas seems like okay, but I kind of expected the Muta transition. Because also, like, Roach Hydra Viper is pretty darn good in the late game, but what about the late game? It doesn't really, like, last until then. That's when we see Swarm Host or the Mass Mutalist switch.
Well, one of the things here with the DTs coming across the map, walking is not bad. Once again, I would much rather see the Warp Prism used to do this, but with this many Mutas now in play, it's not really a viable option anymore. And let's not forget, like, with Spore Callers each of these bases, like, these DTs can focus on... Actually, there are no Spore Callers at each
Oh,
of
you know,
bases.
I think Harstem...
Oh,
I think he was getting...
Oh, no. There's no detection anywhere.
Oh, well, he's morphing in overseers right now, but the Mutas actually went undetected. I was wondering because he threw down a fleet beacon, but then I realized that he was just preparing to go for maybe like a Tempest. I guess just Tempest, maybe carriers, but...
Oh, this is going to be a very awkward base trade if he's not careful.
Enix is, yeah, it is going to be a base trade.
Base trade.
Oh, links into the blinding cloud, but storms go down.
Well, you can still shoot up at a point, so I can almost have one and shoot the Vipers anyways, but you're right, the storms do go down. The Hydras are melting to this. The Colossus, 2 of them left standing, uncontested. Meanwhile, each of these bases starting to get sniped off. There's so many freaking Mutas to play. 36 in total is way too much to handle. Oh, maybe if you had an Archon or 2, but that's a big maybe. Harstem's going to hope to kill every single Nexus and maybe starve Harstem, or sorry, Vortix is going to hope to kill every Nexus and maybe starve Harstem out of the game, but Harstem's kind of doing the exact same thing on this side of the field. DTs are going ham. The Stalkers have all returned home to deal with this. He knows how big of a threat this is. He's recognized this and is not undervaluing this at all.
You know, I think Harstem's doing pretty well. Vortix did not know about the space, by the way. He saw the probes going over there, so he had to have figured. And Harstem did try and cannon it up, but the cannons are all on one side. Ah! He still has enough.
Not to mention, that's like a pretty Artosi pylon.
Yeah, a little bit. But like Vortix is constantly bleeding out like Mutas. His army was cleaned up on the other side of the map. Oh, okay, the Roach Hydra doing their job. So it's 2 base versus 1 base.
Rochi Hydra, yay!
The Muta count is down. It was at like 30 something, now down to 14. But now, honestly, the Roach Hydra count's back to being scary, right? Because like just the Blink Stalkers, they can do okay, but they have to have like really overwhelming numbers.
Oh, I like this doing for the Templar Archives. Picking out the really important tech structures. I mean, there's not a lot of Mutas left. The Stalkers can beat them up, but it's not about killing units anymore for Vortix. It's about killing that tech. Yo, he's also exhausted his bank too. This finally puts him on even footings with Harstem because up to this point, Vortix has had like what, that 5K bank, 4K minerals, 3K gas type thing. But I mean, this is... I don't think he's gonna do so well here. The upgrades are good on both parties, but Vortix... I don't know, he's got a lot of fluff units like these roaches. The army seems bigger than it really is.
I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. No splash, only 1 immortal. These Zealots do have charge. They're gonna be adding a lot of damage.
Right, but I mean, technically all
right.
he needs is like 1 or 2 DTs. Just blink forward and snipe off the overseers, right?
Okay, that too. But I think just like straight up with good blink micro, he does win the fight.
Charge lots get to the front
It
line
is
here.
3-2 versus just 3.
It's funny, we never actually had a Phoenix get made, huh? What do you
Yeah,
like, 3
never a
Stargates,
single
no
Phoenix. I think like Harstem realized like it's gonna be way too late. Things are already in pretty deep. But as we attention to his actual army, don't just let it stand there.
I mean, the thing is, the Stalkers get the job done. Vortix is in a lot of trouble this game. It's kind of what it comes down to. He feels more pressure than Harstem to get damage done. That's because Harstem's still mining comfortably off these bases with so many cannons up too. I mean, in the worst case scenario, Harstem can actually fight at that 4th, but he doesn't need to, as we see. With Blink and a couple charge slots, well, actually, might need to start backing up. This concave is working out really well for Vortix.
Blink micro going down. The Immortal got sniped immediately.
Oh, DTs, please. Did you listen to our shrine? No, he didn't. DTs, please.
Okay, Harstem actually loses.
DTs, please.
Yeah, way too many Hydra too. Yeah, I was about to say, like, the upgrades were better for Harstem. A lot of his stalkers were actually, like, fighting those mutas, and the lack of, like, you know, the concave and the lack of blink micro. He would have had to have, like, a pretty good engagement on his terms to actually win against that huge Roach Hydra army.
I don't know, man. I think with some DTs, it wouldn't have been that big of a
Or
problem.
DTs. Or DTs.
All right, so
That's
what do we
what I
got?
was thinking.
What do we got next here? What's the next map?
I was gonna say, like, game 2. Like, that's what we got next.
Yeah,